Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the fourth ventricle. So before going to the fourth ventricle, first we should know what is meant by ventricle. Okay, ventricles are the space seen inside the brain. See here in this diagram you can see the brain, and one cavity is seen inside the cerebrum. See, okay, and one another cavity which is seen in front of the cerebellum. See, this is what the cerebellum is, this colored area, this conical shaped colored area. This is also a cavity. Such cavities are seen inside the brain. Those cavities are known as what? Ventricle. So here in case of central nervous system, ventricles means what? Ventricles are the cavities seen inside the brain. Such four ventricles are there. Two lateral ventricle, then third ventricle, then the last one. This is what the fourth ventricle. Now it is clearer. Fourth ventricle. Ventricle means the cavity seen inside the brain. Fourth ventricle means it is the cavity which is seen in front of the cerebellum. So this cavity, this is what the fourth ventricle. Okay, now we'll see the details of this fourth ventricle. See, fourth ventricle, it is a cavity of the hindbrain and it is tent-shaped space. Okay, what is that? See, this is what the hindbrain. So we are having the forebrain, then this connecting part, this is what the midbrain, then this area, this is what the hindbrain. Okay, so it includes pons, medulla, cerebellum. So inside this hindbrain, so here we can see, here we can see a tent-shaped space. Okay, this tent-shaped space is known as what? The fourth ventricle. How it is tent-shaped? See the video now. See, almost like this. Like this. It will be like this. Tent-shaped. Okay. So the floor of the tent. So imagine this is the floor of the tent. It is formed by the posterior surface of the pons and medulla. We'll see that. See, this is the pons and this one is a medulla. Posterior surface means this is what the posterior surface of the pons and posterior surface of the medulla. So this area forms the floor of the cavity, and this area, see like this, see the cursor. See, this area which forms the roof of the ventricle means that this colored area, this is what the ventricle. See this one, this is the floor of the ventricle, and this one, this is a roof of the ventricle. See the video again. So imagine this is a posterior surface of the, see here comes a pons and a medulla. So this is a posterior surface of the pons and a medulla. Then here, they are like this. This is means this is a floor of the fourth ventricle, and this one is a roof of the fourth ventricle. So this tent-shaped space. Okay, that tent-shaped space which is seen in the hindbrain, it is known as what? The fourth ventricle. So the introduction is clear now. Okay. See, it is a cavity of the hindbrain. Say tent-shaped space situated between the, so it is seen behind the pons and medulla and in front of the cerebellum. Okay, you have to modify them. It is seen behind the pons and medulla in front of the cerebellum. Then I told you it is tent-shaped, so it is having one floor and a roof. Okay, floor it is formed by the posterior surface of the pons and medulla. See, I told you. See, floor is formed by posterior surface of the pons and posterior surface of the pons and medulla. Okay, and that floor it is having some features. Say this is what the posterior view of the pons and medulla. See this area, this is what the pons, and here comes the medulla. This is what the posterior view. Now you can see the floor properly. See, it's almost a rhomboid shape. So it is having one more name. This floor is having one more name, rhomboid fossa. Okay, rhomboid fossa means nothing but the floor of the fourth ventricle. Okay, so this is what the posterior view. How it is? See the video. So in the first image we saw the side view. Okay, so here comes pons and a medulla. So we can say the side view. In this image we can say the posteriorly. Now the floor is, see here the floor is clear like that. Okay. Now what are the properties of this floor? Floor first shape it is rhomboid shaped fossa. The midline there we can see a groove or a sulcus. See this groove or this sulcus it is known as what? Median sulcus. So it means this fossa it is divided into two equal halves by a sulcus, it is the median sulcus. Lateral to the median sulcus, one more sulcus is there. That sulcus it is known as limiting sulcus. See this one is a limiting sulcus. See sulcus limitans or limiting sulcus. So between the median sulcus and this limiting sulcus, there we can see one elongated area or a ridge. That one is a median eminence. See, median eminence. So first point, median sulcus. Second point, limiting sulcus. Third point, median eminence. In the upper part of the median eminence, there we can see a bulged portion. See this area. It's a little bit more bulged. See, here also this area. This bulged part of the median eminence, it is known as facial colliculus. Colliculus means nothing but the projection. So this projection it is produced by the facial nerve. Okay, some fibers of the facial nerve. So it is known as what? Facial colliculus. So median sulcus, limiting sulcus. In between these two sulcus, this elevated area, median eminence with the facial colliculus. And towards the middle portion of this fossa, there we can see some fibers which runs horizontally. Those fibers are known as what? Stria medullaris. So these fibers, stria medullaris. So here below the stria medullaris, there also we can see a part of this median eminence. See this part of the median eminence, it is known as hypoglossal triangle. It's almost triangular shape. Okay, so this part of the median eminence which is seen below the stria medullaris, it is known as hypoglossal triangle. So what are the properties? Median sulcus, limiting sulcus. In between those two sulcus, see this one is a median eminence. Upper part of the median eminence is having facial colliculus, lower part is having the hypoglossal triangle. These two are separated by the stria medullaris. Now we are going to this sulcus limitans. There we can see two depressions. See here we can see a pit-like depression. Here also another pit-like depression. See here and here. Okay. See these depressions are known as what? Superior fovea and inferior fovea. Fovea means a shadow depression. So this one is a superior fovea. This one is a inferior fovea. The area lateral to this fovea or this lateral to this limiting sulcus means this area. It is known as vestibular area. See this area, this is what the vestibular area. Okay, so now below the inferior fovea, there we can see. See, this is a superior fovea and this one is an inferior fovea. There we can see another triangular shape area. This one is a vagal triangle. So hypoglossal triangle, then vagal triangle, then vestibular area. Okay. So these are the some of the properties of this fossa, rhomboid fossa. So what are they? See, the floor of the fourth ventricle is rhomboid shaped with some properties: median sulcus, limiting sulcus with the superior fovea and the inferior fovea. Between the median sulcus and the limiting sulcus, median eminence with facial colliculus and the hypoglossal triangle. Below the inferior fovea, there we can see the vagal triangle. Then lateral to this limiting sulcus, this is a vestibular area, and it is closed by all these are closed by stria medullaris. See, so median sulcus. Now we know what is meant by median sulcus, what is meant by sulcus limitans between median eminence. Then some properties of this limiting sulcus. A depression is known as what? Superior fovea. Another depression, inferior fovea. Okay. Then it is having facial colliculus. Then below that, we are having the vagal triangle. We already saw that. Facial follicles we saw. Then hypoglossal triangle, that is also there. So this is what the hypoglossal triangle. This is a facial follicles. Then vestibular area. Show you the vestibular area. See this one. This is what the vestibular area. Then vagal triangle. See, this is what the vagal triangle. So floor is clear. Now we are going to the roof of the fourth ventricle. Roof, it's a tent-shaped part. See how, see I showed you, see the image again, see the video again. See, for example, imagine this is a posterior surface of the pons and a medulla, means this is a floor, and here comes a roof. Okay, that's why it's known as tent-shaped, so like this. So it's a tent-shaped roof. It is having a tent-shaped roof. And the roof, it is formed by superior cerebellar peduncle, then superior medullary velum, inferior medullary velum, then chela choroidea and tinea. Okay, tinea with the apex. See, first one, superior cerebellar peduncle. What is that superior cerebellar peduncle? See, this is also the posterior view. Here, see, this is what one cerebellar hemisphere. I told you this brainstem, that means which includes midbrain, pons, and the medulla, which is connected to the cerebellum through three peduncles. Okay, see, first peduncle, see this bundle of fibers. Okay, this bundle it is known as what? Superior cerebellar peduncle. See, which connects this brainstem to the cerebellum. See, this is what the brainstem. This brainstem which is connected to the cerebellum by three peduncles. One is this superior cerebellar peduncle. Another one is this area, middle. Then the last one is this area, inferior. Okay. So anyway, this is what the superior cerebellar peduncle. So first point is clear. So here, there we can see this area roof is formed by. That means upper part of the roof is formed by the superior cerebellar peduncle, opposite side superior cerebellar peduncle. Okay. So first point, superior cerebellar peduncle. Then second point, superior medullary velum. What is meant by that? See, these two cerebellar peduncles are connected by a thin sheet. That one is a superior medullary velum. Okay, so superior cerebellar peduncles and superior medullary velum. The upper part means, see the image. See, this is what the roof. Okay, this one is a roof. So this upper part of the roof. So here, imagine these two fingers represents what? This superior cerebellar peduncle of one side, then here is superior cerebellar peduncle of opposite side. In between, a connecting part will be there. Okay, that one is a superior medullary velum. Okay, so that is meant by upper part. Upper part of the roof is formed by this. Then lower part. Then here we can see the inferior cerebellar peduncle. That also connected by inferior medullary velum. So inferior medullary velum. First we have to go through the tinea. Tinea means it's a thin white band. See here we can see a thin band, that is the vertical part and the horizontal part. See this thin band, it is known as what? The tinea. Apex means this triangular connecting part. This lower small white colored triangular part. This is what apex. Okay. So here we can say the tinea with the vertical part and the horizontal part. So anyway, this vertical part comes here, and the apex is also found in the roof. See here, opposite side is also having the tinea. See this vertical band. This is what the tinea is also the horizontal band here. So tinea. This is what the tinea, and this one is the apex. Now this gap which is filled by the tira choroidea. Tira choroidea means it's what? Pyometer. It's pyometer with some blood vessels. Okay, so that is what the tira choroid. So those structures forms a roof: superior cerebellar peduncle, superior medullary velum, inferior medullary velum, tira choroidea, and tinea. See it again: superior cerebellar peduncle. See it is written into the cerebellum. So superior cerebellar peduncles connected by the superior medullary velum, like that. The inferior medullary velum, then tinea, apex, and the tira choroidea. Okay, so that is what the roof. So floor and the roof, these two things are there. Now lateral boundaries. Okay, lateral boundary is formed in the lower part. It is formed by gracile tubercle, then cuneate tubercle, and the inferior cerebellar peduncle. See, here we can see fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus, and two bundles. Upper end of this bundle shows a bulging. That is what tubercles. Okay, upper end of this bundles or upper end of this fasciculus shows bulgings or known as tubercles. So gracile tubercle and cuneate tubercle. So laterally it is bounded by these two structures. And a little bit above there we can see the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So this is what the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So inferior cerebellar peduncle and this bulging. This is a cuneate tubercle. Then this one is a gracile tubercle. So laterally, infrolaterally we are having these three. Okay, inferior cerebellar peduncle, then cuneate tubercle and a gracile tubercle. So superiorly, the superior cerebellar peduncle. Supralaterally, superior cerebellar peduncle. Infralaterally, gracile tubercle, then cuneate tubercle and inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, clear? You see it again, gracile tubercle, cuneate tubercle, inferior cerebellar peduncle in the inferior part on either side. Then the superior part, that is bundle. So we already told you superior cerebellar peduncle. Okay. Then this ventricle shows some extensions. Those extensions are known as what? Recesses. So what are the extensions of this fourth ventricle? It is having a median dorsal recess, two lateral dorsal recesses, and two lateral recesses. See, one median dorsal recess, another two lateral dorsal recesses, and two lateral recesses. See, here this is what the ventricle. This ventricle shows an extension towards the cerebellum. See, this is extension into the cerebellum. It is known as median dorsal recess. And two. So first point is clear. Median dorsal recess. It is towards the posterior side. So dorsal recess, and it is seen in the exactly in the midline. Okay, so it is known as median dorsal recess. Like that, little bit lateral to this on either side. There we can see another dorsal recess. Dorsal means posterior. Okay, so another dorsal recess. Those are the two lateral dorsal recesses. And the last point, lateral recess. What is meant by that? See here, we can see the lateral extensions of this ventricles. Okay, so lateral recess, two lateral recesses. See, I can see the video. Now, see if this is the ventricle. See this cavity. This is what the ventricle. This ventricle shows one backward extension exactly in the midline. That one is a median dorsal recess. Then little bit laterally, this shows another extension. That is what lateral dorsal recess. That is also directed backward. So that is what the lateral dorsal recess. Then towards the sides, lateral recess. Then the last point, communications. See, it communicates superiorly. It communicates with the third ventricle through the cerebral aqueduct. See this image. See, this is what the fourth ventricle, and approximately here comes the third ventricle. So this fourth ventricle, it is connected to this third ventricle through a canal. This is what the cerebral aqueduct. Okay, so third ventricle is connected to the fourth ventricle through the cerebral aqueduct. Like that, inferiorly it communicates with the central canal of the medulla. See, this medulla is having a central canal. So through this part, see, it communicates with the through this canal. It communicates with the central canal of the medulla. Central canal of the medulla will communicate with the central canal of the spinal cord. So inferiorly, it continues with the central canal of medulla. So these 2 points are clear. Superiorly, it communicates with the third ventricle through the cerebral aqueduct. Inferiorly, to the central canal of medulla. Then dorsally, it's having a median aperture through which it communicates with the subarachnoid space. Okay, so it communicates with the subarachnoid space. I will show you later. Okay, then one more. Two lateral apertures are also there. Through that, it communicates with the subarachnoid space. So these are the communications. First, it communicates with the third ventricle, then another communication communicates with the central canal of medulla, then one median passes through which it communicates with subarachnoid space, like that one more, to lateral approaches, okay, through which communicates with the subarachnoid space. So these are some of the details of this fourth ventricle. Okay. See, so what is meant by fourth ventricle? Fourth ventricle means it's the tent-shaped cavity of the hindbrain. Tent-shaped cavity is inside the hindbrain. So it is having one floor, which is formed by the posterior surface of the pons and medulla, then roof, tent-shaped roof. Okay. Then features of the floor, roof, then lateral bones, then recesses communications. Okay. For remaining details, you have to read it one more in text.